And you are looking live at Richard L. Snowden Stadium, the home of the Denver Nightwings. And tonight we are here in the Rocky Mountains for a Friday night fight. And only you could imagine right here. It is the SFL on the Virtual Football Network. It's the 4-2 Chicago Warriors and the 4-2 Denver Nightwings. Good evening. It's Cameron Duty here with my buddy Anthony Ellison, reunited, and it's good to be with you, my partner. We've got a great one this evening. Obviously, got some new threads out there looking really good. I think everybody's just excited to be playing at this divisional rivalry matchup under the lights here on a Friday evening.
It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful night underneath the lights. It's Friday night. We got football here. And you know what? We're going to see a lot of passing here. I expect nothing more but just airing out, and a lot of points could be put on the board here. So let's see what happens.
Get your popcorn ready, folks. Get you a snack. Get comfortable. You're not going to want to go anywhere for the next hour and a half or so. Their good buddy Corey Minner on the stats this evening. Of course, Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ. This ball is teed up. We are ready to go. This thing is underway. Denver will get a chance first as they bring it out of the end zone and tackled at the 24-yard line. Let's take a look at the Denver starting offense. Quarterback Trellis Blanton. The halfbacks Jeremy Mosley and Bailey O'Shaughnessy. The fullbacks R.E. Mills and the wide receivers Dylan Lewis, Jay Viper, Michael Goodman, and Logan Kill. The tight end Mike Kleinecht. The two tackles Gene Benazzi and Kiara Cool. The guard is Marcella Martin, and at center it's D'Angelo De Jesus. First play from scrimmage, and we've got a man in motion. That is the tight end, Mike Kleinecht, moving from right to left before he settles on the line. Keep it on the ground with O'Shaughnessy. What a stiff arm into the next century there by number 30 on a gain of 6 on first down.
This is what we want Denver to come out to do. We know that passing is going to happen this game. Both teams are top 10 in passing, but Bailey O'Shaughnessy is 6th in the league with 108 carries. We want to see enough of the running game to keep it balanced.
And that was a big part in their victory just a little while ago, as we see Mosley there with the carry, going to bring up a 3rd and 3. But, Denver is coming off of a huge victory against 2 back-to-back victories, actually, against the Baltimore Vultures and the Minnesota Legends. So they're feeling pretty good with what they've got going on right now.
Yeah, and then you get yourself in the short 3rd down conversion. You can run the ball if you want to, but you can pass it as well.
Blanton will try to throw it downfield, but he is swallowed up by DJ Kilgannon of the Chicago Warriors. Gonna get that sack and wrap him up, throw him down to the turf, and they end this drive for Denver.
And we're going to say that name a lot today, DJ Kilgannon, just playing all over on that outside linebacker position. Bliss from the weak side right there was able to get there. The line did not shift over in time, and that's a big sack on 3rd down.
Jordan Metshaw's kick is a good one, though, and it's fielded around the 32-yard line before being turned upfield and returned by John Fullerton. Now we welcome the Chicago team, their offense, to the field for the first time, led by quarterback Ty Patak, the wide receiving unit of Caleb Giffus, John Fullerton, and Bobby Tarantino. The 2 tight ends, Dean Jackson and Paulie Truth. The 2 tackles, Jackie Jones and Jess Fullerton Galarza. The guard, Finney Flex, Rick Ross, and at center, Robin Mono. And as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Chicago also 4-2. A 3-game winning streak they bring in here, as they have beaten Los Angeles, Detroit on the road, and Bossier City. Now, from scrimmage, the first play to the halfback for a gain of 3. The carry was Tyrone Wheatley there on first down.
Nice little solid gain here. Man covers for Denver. That's why when you see those motions, you want to see if they're going to follow the players or not.
Patak to throw, one-handed grab. That is his man, John Fullerton, reaching out and able to hold on to that reception after taking a shot and getting the first down.
So what we're going to see right here for Chicago is your offensive line. And how are you going to go up against Jad McPherson, 4.5 sacks, 10th in the league right there. You got to be able to keep an eye on them and put maybe 2 blockers to get a good protection for your quarterback.
There's number 55, John Martin for Denver there, who laid the hit on Fullerton. Now, fresh set of downs. Patak throwing, going deep. He connects with Caleb Giffus, who gets the 1st and 10 in wide open spaces.
Yeah, and once again, good solid pocket. You want to give credit to Jones and Galarza on the tackles right there. Moved a little bit over in the pocket, kept his eyes down the field, and delivered a beautiful strike.
You know, an important point, I think, in this game, Chicago, their points, average points at home, 32. On the road, it's 18. We'll see if they can get off to a hot start. So far, it's great. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left of Patak. He throws in the middle of the field, and he connects with Polly Truth, the 2-time All-Star, coming up big. And Chicago looking very comfortable early in this one.
Another solid pocket, knowing that you got no running back in the backfield. You only got about 2 seconds to get out there, 3-step drop. Nice little play over the middle. You had a post and a slant, and the safety had to make the decision, and he threw it to the right one.
3 receivers again lined up to the bottom of your screen here. Now we see motion. Bobby Tarantino moving to the top side now. Patak to throw with pressure coming around the edge. He lets it go. It's intercepted. Oh my goodness, a good drive comes to an end thanks to the strong safety, Blake Prine, number 24. He takes a knee in the end zone for the touchback. This ball comes out to the 20, and Denver able to stop a very hot drive by Chicago here.
And what a way to get your first interception of the season right there. Blake Prine playing that strong safety position right over the middle. There was too much going on for Ty Patak over the middle right there. Probably should have went to the boundary. Great play by Denver.
For Blake Prine, that is his 32nd interception of his career. Now, keeping it on the ground with O'Shaughnessy. Gets a gain of 4 on 1st down. Let's introduce you to this Chicago defense we didn't get a chance to earlier. The defensive ends, Jad McPherson and Peter Merck. Defensive tackle, DeBrickshaw Molyneux. And then the linebacker, we've already mentioned, DJ Kilgannon. And at cornerback, it's Havo Ramsey, Zachary Hamburger, Derek Majors, and Ricky Robinson, and Melodious Manning. And the safeties, Cronkworthy, Alex Bond, Dylan Bamsler, and J.J. Bailey. Now, 2nd down, Mosley with the carry. He's got room to run, cutting around the edge, down the sidelines. It is a foot race. And in the end, it looks like J.J. Bailey, number 42 for Chicago, is going to be able to drag him down, but not before a big 1st down by Denver.
And they teach you to be patient with your blocking. And that's exactly what Mosley did right there. Just waited. It's a stretch play to the outside. Let your guard pull. Let your fullback get out there and see where the hole is. And that's a great job. That's a big gain for a 1st down.
Denver averaging 92 rushing yards per game between these this two-headed tandem of halfbacks right here. Now throwing quickly, Blanton able to connect. That's number 15, Jay Viper, on the reception. And he gets a gain of 9 on 1st down. You can't ask for more than that.
And Cam, what does running do? It opens up the pass right there. Now you got to keep an eye on the running game so you can slip that little slant right behind him for good yardage.
And Mosley trying to cut the corner. He's going to be stopped. They'll say he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Good job of reading that one by cornerback Havo Ramsey at number 20 for Chicago.
And Denver averaging a little bit under 100 yards, 92 yards a game here. But the thing is, Chicago's giving up 160 for the season.
Mosley again with the carry. And on 3rd down, they say, no way, Jose. Zachary Hamburger with the ground beef there, making quite the hit and stopping the play right in its tracks, 4th and 2.
Big play by that cornerback coming over from Sin City last season. Just making the stop on 3rd down, which is key.
Now, 2nd punt of the evening going to be fair. Catch called for and fielded. Fullerton, the man on that one. 1st and 10 now coming up for Chicago. Halfway through this 1st quarter, camera duty here with Anthony Ellison. And we've got Corey Minner in the stats truck and Commissioner Cameron Irvine at SFL HQ. Thank you for everyone who's checking in. We appreciate you guys right there in the chat. We see you. We hope you're enjoying tonight's stream to this point. Now, Patak to throw, one-on-one coverage, incomplete. Good coverage on the outside by cornerback Stephen Goodman for Denver. But we've got a flag. Oh, too good coverage. Okay, so they're going to say defensive PI there, Anthony. We'll get a chance to look at it.
Oh, that is a lot of bumping, a lot of touching right there. My thing is, he turned his head, but I guess, you know, restricting the arms of the receiver right there, they're going to call it every time. But that's like a bang-bang play.
Now, there you go. Getting a better look at it on the replay, able to determine just that. Two receivers lined up to the top side for Patak. Pressure coming, and he disappears under big 99 Hugo Reynosa, 6'7", 315-pound defensive end.
Being the biggest on the line by far, you got to see that man just hustling, bustling right there. It looks like he took an inside move on that tackle, and just, you got to be careful. That's how your quarterback is hit right there, just a blindside hit.
Now, what a shot he took. He's able to pop back up, thankfully. Not this time, though. Chased down. He disappeared into the pile, and it's Luis Quintana, the 5-season man, able to make quite an impact on that play. Another second straight sack for a loss here, 3rd and 17.
Cam, you know I love my defense right there. Empty backfield, send the blitz. Make sure they can't block that many people, and I love back-to-back plays. That's exactly what they did.
Two receivers lined up on either side, one man in the backfield, just to the left there. Quarterback Patak throwing with the pressure coming, and the thing is, they leave him wide open, bringing the blitz, and it's Fullerton off to the races, and a touchdown for Chicago. What a way to exploit this Denver defense, who literally sent the house home.
Well, I said send the blitz. Don't send everyone. That was a all-out blitz. Like, it's a gamble, right? When you send everybody in there, it's a gamble. Good job making the awareness. The hot read was Fullerton on the outside. What a composure play right there. You don't understand. Like, we don't understand when that many players are coming to your face right there. You can get the ball out that quickly. That's phenomenal. Big play.
Yeah, that was very solid right there. Good job by Patak, and able to find his man. The extra point is good by David Roosh. And the first points of the board for Chicago on this fine Friday evening. And you know, how about that? What about John Fullerton, his 5th receiving touchdown of the season? And he has 12 now all time.
That's just such a remarkable play right there. Just a bad timing to call an all-out blitz, especially when you just got 2 sacks before. But that's the gamble when you are a heavy pressure defensive team. Sometimes you can lose on that gamble.
Yeah, you can certainly live and die by the blitz. We've heard that all of our lives, all around the game of football. You've seen it on display right there. So now, Anthony, for Denver here, you wanna regroup. And really, we need to see this two-headed tandem, I think, more of them, as you said, to allow the passing game to continue to open up.
I want to keep running the football. It's going to tire out that defense, trust me, in the 4th quarter. And it's going to slow down giving the ball back to Chicago. They can score really quickly. This type of box that we see right here, I will run it all day.
Blitz to throw, but pressure coming, and now he's going to get decked. Courtesy of number 99, DeBrickshaw Molyneux, 6'6", 335 pounds in his first season in Chicago, coming over from Detroit.
Yeah, one-time All-Star right there, just being a bully right in the middle of the line and getting a big sack there. That's what you don't want to see in Denver, because now you're 2nd and long, and you got, it's not a lot of plays in the playbook for like 16-yard passes.
Listen, I know, Anthony, you love this game. You know, you are a defensive man. And so right now, they're laying the hits out there.
Yeah, it's going to see how your line is going to make adjustments, because they're both sending pressure on both sides. I love it.
Jay Viper now going in motion. Do they pick it up? This time they don't. But somehow, Blanton able to get out of it. I thought for sure he was in the crosshairs of DeBrickshaw Molyneux once again. Somehow, though, he's able to get it off, and they get some positive yards there.
Composure. What a way to be stay composed, recognize the blitz was coming, knock it down, and still deliver a good pass.
Now trips to the top side there for Blanton on this third down play. In my opinion, very important that they're able to show that they can sustain a drive this evening. As you see Logan Kill in motion, Blanton rolls out, pressure again in his face. That's intercepted, and it's coming the other way. This Pittsburgh defense having all the fun tonight. It's number 32 cornerback Ricky Robinson getting it back in Chicago's possession.
And I think the pressure in the face caused a errant throw, but that's still dangerous right there. That's a post route, and that safety is literally sitting on it right there. What a way to jump on it. Now they're in great field position, Chicago, and let's see what type of points they can get out of it.
The 10th interception of Robinson's career, first on the season, so congratulations to him. And now the beneficiary of that, of course, the Chicago Warriors offense. Good field position. Patak throwing the pressure. Now he's going to have to scramble, and he is decked. Two men in the backfield, number 77 and 97 on that. Gerald Cumbus, the defensive end, as well as Joseph Sabolka, the defensive tackle.
Ooh, they are not giving up. Yeah, they gave up a touchdown on an all-out blitz. But once again, that time they didn't need to send a blitz. Their defensive line did enough right there, pushing them back 2nd and 20. You keep doing that, you're going to get them out of field goal range.
Yeah, like you said, a 10-yard loss on first down, pressure around the edge again, though this time, no. I thought that Paulie Truth was going to be able to reel that one in, but that's jarred loose. That looked like a bad, violent car crash out there on the outside, courtesy of Lucas DeVore.
Yeah, we already are seeing, so many sacks so far, and this is the first quarter. This is just good game planning, recognizing that they don't have any help in the backfield, and that defensive line is going after them.
Yep, we have had as many sacks as we have first downs in this game. 5 each to this point. That's incredible. And now, Chicago just trying to keep something simple there on the ground, and they'll have to punt it away. 4th and 18 as we will see the punt coming right here.
Such a missed opportunity right there for Chicago after getting an interception and being already in field goal range, going back after a big sack, and then you're not getting any points out of it.
What an interesting first half. What an exciting first half. Just like we said, a great defensive-minded game. A lot of hard hits, everything you want to see in a football game, no doubt. Now, I promise we're going to introduce this Chicago defense in just a moment. It's been that kind of night, honestly, with all the action going on here. Denver with the ball back, 1st and 10, less than a minute to play in this opening quarter. O'Shaughnessy with the carry. And Anthony, I'll do this real quickly here. We look at the Chicago defense, the defensive ends, Jad McPherson. Actually, I apologize. I meant to say the Denver defense. I will get to that in just a moment. Let me regroup here. We've had so much action, Anthony.
It's all the sacks. Yeah, they might have gotten to us.
I think it sacked my mind as well. Now, Mosley carrying, doing a nice job getting close to the line of scrimmage before he gets bulldozed over. And that's 3rd and inches.
And this is what we need to see Denver. Denver is 2nd in the league in time of possession with over 23 minutes in the game. This is how you do it. Great runs, 3rd and inches, keep it on the ground. Your line is doing a great job pushing Chicago back.
O'Shaughnessy this time to get just enough, able to squeak through there and get the 1st and 10. And now that is going to bring us to the end of an exciting first quarter. Like I said, we have seen just as many sacks as first downs at one point in this opening stanza. Chicago leading Denver 7-0. You're watching the SFL on the Virtual Football Network. Welcome you back inside Richard Snowden Stadium. Cameron Duty with Anthony Allison, Rochelle Colston, and Corey Minner on stats today, and Cameron Irvine at SFL HQ. And we've got a great start to one tonight. Where else would you rather be? If you've had a chance, please smash that like button and let everybody know what you're doing this evening. O'Shaughnessy again wrapped up quickly. They have been able to contain him very nicely up to this point. And that was Ricky Robinson once again on the big play.
It's always nice when you can get your defensive back making plays in the backfield right there, just stopping them. Now we're going to probably have to see Denver air it out just a little bit just to move the ball down the field.
Bland throwing to the middle, able to complete. And there's someone I was wondering when they were going to start working him in to this scenario today, in this scheme, and that's tight end Mike Kleineck, who's been great for them this year.
In that 6'5" frame, just being in front of the defense right there, it makes it easier for the quarterback to deliver a good strike there. Another first down for Denver.
You know, someone else that we expect to hear from this evening for Denver, number 82 wide receiver Logan Hill. Keep an eye on him. O'Shaughnessy now with a run. This is what he can do when he gets to open space. He is dragged down around the 30-yard line. He literally had one man to beat, or he was going to take this all the way to the end zone.
My favorite type of run. It is called an ISO run. It's right between the guards. I love that right guard literally went up to the next level, blocked the linebacker. O'Shaughnessy didn't have to get touched until like 7 to 8 yards down the field. I love the vision. Look for the next hole you can cut to. Beautiful first down.
Now, Trellis Blanton to throw. He heaves it. It's complete. He finds Michael Goodman, the rookie, waiting on that pass. He reels it in along the sidelines, and another first down, and now Denver has came to life.
And the running game being so effective is going to open up these one-on-one coverage. I love that he stopped in that zone and showed his numbers right there, showed the hands to the quarterback to make an easy pitch and catch.
First and goal to go for Denver, trying to tie this one up. Blanton under center, pressure around the edges. He gets rid of it quickly. Once more to Michael Goodman, the 6'4", 210 rookie, who made a name for himself down in the minor leagues with New York, setting all kinds of rookie records there for the SFL. And he gets the nod here by Denver to move up through the ranks.
Look, both of these teams are top 3 in the red zone. You know, Denver number 2 with almost 5 a game, and then Chicago's number 3. So this is familiar territory for both teams.
O'Shaughnessy getting so close to the end zone. I thought he was going to be able to squeak in there. Somehow he did a little magic. He disappeared there between 2 Chicago defenders and came out the other side close to the zone. It's 3rd and goal.
I would give it right back to the running back right there. I would not try to pass it.
And you're right. They give it to Mosley, who dives over the pile for the touchdown. Jeremy Mosley in his 12th season, all with Denver here, having a great season once more.
And once again, we went back to that ISO run right there, just right between the center and the guard. I love the blocking, just very stout on that line. That's a great way to respond after having some troubles earlier in the first quarter.
That's Mosley's 3rd touchdown on the season. Is the extra point. Good by Jordan Bradshaw. And we are all tied up after a 10-play, 80-yard drive. Man, I'm telling you what, if this is any indication of what the rest of this evening has in store for us, hang on to your hats, folks.
Great football here.
Fullerton to bring this one out of the end zone. And he's wrapped up at the 25-yard line. Now, I've got my bearings together. I'm ready to go here, Anthony. I'm going to introduce this defensive unit for Denver. Bless their hearts, it took all the way to the second quarter, and I apologize. So much action going on, folks. Defensive ends, Gerald Cumbus and Hugo Reynosa. Defensive tackles, Logan Gardner and Joseph Sabolka. The linebackers, Chuck Diesel, Luis Quintana. The linebackers, John Martin and Jimmy Burgett. The cornerbacks, Jimmy Hatsis, Luke Schreiner, and Stephen Goodman. As Paul's right there to watch a great play. Good connection for Chicago to number 89, Bobby Tarantino. I'll finish with this lineup quickly. The rest of the cornerbacks, Ted Haynes and Parker Thomas. The safeties, Lucas DeVore, Blake Prine, and Tank Bennett. Most of those names we've actually already called this evening without going through the roster lineup. An active night on both defensive ends. Now, top attack to throw, pressure coming again. He's able to get rid of it. We've seen these quarterbacks this entire game so far having to maneuver and kind of shake their way out of some perilous situations up to this point, Anthony. For the most part, they've responded pretty well.
They've been doing really well, having that pocket sense to move around, not panicking and looking to run the ball, just moving your feet in the pocket to find the opening.
Patak standing in there, finds his man off the hands. And Tarantino takes a shot at the end of it. Incomplete as he hits the turf. 3rd and 10 now for the Warriors.
I'm telling you, both of these defenses came to play here. They are stopping the pass when they need to get in pressure. This is a 3rd down situation. I would expect some type of blitz from Denver.
2 receivers on either side, 1 man in the backfield with top attack as he is under center. The snap, pressure, gets rid of it. Oh, what a nice play finding Paulie Truth out there along the sidelines in a good route, and for Patak able to place that football to where only Paulie Truth could get to it.
And to be honest, you're not going to see it. What gave it time was number 77, Jess Fullerton Galarza, picking up the stunt that came late and was able to stonewall that defensive tackle that gave the Patak enough time to make a strike for the 1st down. Great job picking up that stunt.
Now Patak again throwing quickly as the pocket collapses, but able to snag that one out of the air once again. Paulie Truth. We knew that this guy would be very active in tonight's game. I mean, he always is, and a 2-time All-Star. You always got to, allow for him. That was almost intercepted right there by Ted Haynes.
Yeah, they're reading those routes. Like, that's why they got the interception before. They're picking up this quick slant, so you got to be careful.
6:10 remaining in this half. Patak on scramble, throwing and incomplete. Looking again for a 3rd consecutive time for Truth, but he couldn't find him.
And Cam, we're seeing they're under distress a lot, these quarterbacks. They're making passes that they're getting hit right when they release the ball, and those receivers are covered pretty well.
Yeah, indeed. Now we see motion. We had trips now. Caleb Giffus will move to the right side of the formation. Patak throwing into coverage and incomplete. That once again was Haynes out there doing a good job of defending that pass.
3rd down here, you don't want to leave empty-handed. You have a kicker with the long of 41 yards. You're about 5-6 yards to be comfortable to be in his range.
So on 3rd down, Patak will throw over the head of anyone in the area there. Looked like he was maybe looking in the way of Giffus. And you're right. Now we will get to see David Rush come out. And like you said, along a 41, this will easily be right in his wheelhouse, a 44-yard attempt.
This will be his long, Christian Survey long if he hits this.
The snap, the hold is good. Is the kick? Oh, wide left. Oh, so close. We said he had 41 coming in. You tried to tack 3 more yards onto it, and we'll just see what happened here.
Looks like just like a push to the left there. His 2nd miss of the season was actually 3rd, and making 12 out of 13. So his 2nd missed field goal cost us a timely time. So let's see if Denver can do it with 5 minutes left in the 2nd.
Yeah, a really good drive there that stalls out thanks to the Denver defense, and unfortunately Chicago not able to put any points on the board. So Denver does take over with Mike Kleinecht in motion. Blanton throwing complete. He's able to find his guy. That's Kleinecht once more, the rookie tight end over there for a couple.
What a way to hold on to the ball. So right here, Denver wants to put some type of points on the board. Another good drive. They know that Chicago gets the ball back at halftime.
Formation by Denver. Blanton with plenty of time. throws into double coverage right over the head of two Chicago defenders, and he finds Logan Kill.
That is a very tough throw when you're double covered. Yeah, it just right past those two defenders that had their back against the ball. Anticipated route, recognizing the drag was going to go across the field, and deliver a great throw.
We mentioned, earlier in the broadcast that Logan Kill would be a guy that they would have to keep an eye on. And again, showing a little bit of what he can do there. Now, O'Shaughnessy back to the ground game. Another good carry for a gain of 6 on first down.
And the thing with Bailey O'Shaughnessy is just the fact that the legs keep moving and very explosive, getting to the line and just hitting it and getting 6-7 yards with ease.
You're right, with ease being the key there. Now, Mosley stuffed at the line. He's had a couple of good runs today. That, unfortunately, did not go anywhere as Dylan Bamsler, in his first season here in Chicago, makes the stop.
Big 6'3" safety there, just delivering the hit. Third down here. You want to keep this drive alive, obviously, so you want to complete it.
Blanton going deep, but they set up the screen. O'Shaughnessy turns upfield, makes a man literally pay with a tough hit, and Molyneux gets the tackle at the end of it, and they're going to say he's just short, 4th and inches. I think they're going to go for it here, Anthony.
I like the call here. Go for it. I know it's all about the analytical stuff, but you have two stone running backs running up the middle.
That's exactly what they do, and he stopped. Dylan Bamsler comes in and says access denied. That was Jeremy Mosley on the carry, and he gets nothing. Chicago now taking over after another good Denver drive without points as well.
They knew it was coming, so they sent pressure right up the middle and just clogged it up. Great play call by the defensive coordinator.
Trips to the right of Patak. He throws. Ooh, dangerous throw right there, because that was in the vicinity of Tank Bennett. He's able to get a hand up, and it's incomplete.
And got to be careful with the Denver defense is jumping those underneath routes. That's how they got their first interception. You got to be careful.
Yeah. Ball Hawks indeed. 3:33 remaining in this first half of play. Patak maneuvering again, throwing. Incomplete. He was looking for Giffus. Well covered by John Martin, the linebacker.
Yeah, that's an athletic play to cover that much of a deep, middle and almost get an interception. Great play to knock it down.
Now Patak with a good pocket. Throwing over the middle, complete. He finds his man, Bobby Tarantino, to keep this drive alive, and the clock will continue to run.
A great strike. Pocket very clean, had time to set the feet, threw it right in front of the defenders. That's the first down you needed. That was really good for Chicago.
Now for Patak. Going to throw. It's a go deep off the hands of his intended target there. And they will go back to the drawing board. Again, good coverage downfield. Luis Quintana there, we mentioned those linebackers, 55 and 54, John Martin and Luis Quintana. We see them a lot in the same vicinity, but they always deliver for Denver.
Oh, 100%. They are solid tackles.
Now one-handed, reeling it in like a thing of beauty is Bobby Tarantino. I mean, he made that look so easy there. And let's look at Patak, how he's able to just softly deliver that too. Just a little pitch and catch.
Love it. Knowing that it was a cover two, just get right behind that linebacker and just soft spot in the zone. And what a good throw, and just make the catch look easy.
Reese Ocean Fullerton to the left side of Patak. Clock down to 2:24 in this first half. Now, quick throw into coverage. And it's incomplete.
37 right there. Ted Hayes almost got his second interception of the night right there, sitting underneath in that flat zone. That's you gotta pick up. You gotta see that in the zone coverage right there. You gotta be careful.
Now empty set, nobody back there with Patag as he snaps the football, throws towards the sidelines, complete to Fullerton, able to escape one tackle and get the first down and then get out of bounds as well. That was a really nice play.
Showed up the arm strength right there on that out route because you got to get that with zip so they don't jump on it. And what a way to turn up the field, recognize where the first down marker is, and got there.
Yeah, indeed, you know, it's so much about the awareness, right? I mean, knowing at this side of the field, at this time in the game, where you need to get to hit your marks, get out of bounds, get the first, what have you. And that will take us down to the 2-minute warning. We have a great game here, folks. We thank you for being with us. You are watching the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Chicago not going to be satisfied unless they can punch this one into the end zone. Giffus goes in motion. Ball just outside the 13-yard line. Patak throwing end zone to Giffus, and it's a touchdown as Chicago once again jumps out front.
And I think the safety played a little bit too shallow because you can't let that get behind you. You're the last person defense. The slot route, just a seam. That's all it was, a seam, and that number 24 just bit a little bit too much. Blake Prine looking for that interception. What a way to keep your 2 feet in bounds. What a way to score heading into the locker room at halftime.
Now on to attempt the extra point is Christian Ronald Suey. And it is good. A 7-point lead now for Chicago, who definitely their best drive of the entire evening. But, one thing that I think was most impressive about it, the way they spread the football around. We've seen receptions from Fullerton, Tarantino, Pauly Truth, and, of course, Giffus at the end of that one.
Even though this is a pass-heavy offense, like you said, Cam, they're spreading the ball around, so it makes it like they're not just going to one receiver, so you have to guard everyone.
Yeah, indeed. Folks, you're watching the Simulation Football League action right here on the Virtual Football Network. This week on the VFN, there's SFL Week 10 action that continues tomorrow and Monday, while the UFL playoffs reach the conference semifinals Tuesday and Wednesday. Then you have the SFLM, who plays on Tuesday and Thursday. And that's a full calendar right there for you. No other network gives you more football. The SFL lives on the Virtual Football Network. Good run by Shaughnessy.
Good run. You have your timeouts here. Clock management going to be very important, but you don't have to pass the ball. You can stay on the ground. Bailey is having a really great first half.
Well, that does beg the question here. How aggressive do you think Denver wants to be in this situation? As Mosley able to disappear into the pile and then reappear with the first down.
Now, if you're not using your timeouts, you got to start throwing the ball down the field. You're wasting a lot of time getting to the ball. Now you got to start throwing it to outside the numbers.
Now the I formation there. As Blanton will throw over the middle, completes it to Goodman in the middle of the field. And like you said, now you start seeing these timeouts being called.
Yep. Good job. Chicago said, we will give you anything underneath. We're not going to let you beat us deep. And that's what you saw right there on that coverage.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Chicago, you'll take those little dink and dunks all day long at this juncture of the game anyway. As Kleinett goes in motion. Play clock down to 5. Blanton throwing again to the middle of the field. It's complete. They do get the first. That's Dylan Lewis with his first reception of the day. And again, forced to take another timeout. Here is Denver.
And Chicago said, hey, we will give you the underneath route there. Now you got one more timeout. So you really can't throw that type of pass now. You need to throw. You need to get about another 30 yards to be in your kicker's range.
Blanton throwing, trying to get it all in one throw there, and reaching up high for it was the intended receiver, but a little too much mustard on that one, I think. And 50 seconds left here in the second quarter.
Yeah, he had a little bit more zip that you need to there, but it's good to see you take the shot down the field. It stops the clock. You still got your timeout.
Blanton throwing with the pocket collapsing. He is able to find his man. Oh, that's Goodman. He was trying to turn it upfield. I tell you what, he may have had a touchdown had he been able to kind of scoot around the line just a little bit, but went a little too wide on that one, I think.
Yeah, if he turns up, that's a touchdown.
That's money. Yeah. That's a money play.
Out of bounds, stops the clock.
And, you know, it's easy to sit here and say it. I'm certainly guilty of that. A little bit harder when you're down there, on the field trying to get past the tackle and then turn upfield. So good job by Goodman there indeed. Now throwing and falling for the reception is Kleineck, number 85. And that will be the final timeout, I do believe, for Denver.
Yeah, so now you have a kicker with a leg. Longest this year for Jordan Bradshaw is 50 yards. So you're right in that range for a field goal.
Goodman goes in motion. Now throwing, complete, getting pushed backwards. There's Logan Kill, but he turns back upfield. Oh, what a nice play to ensure that he gets the first and 10 and he gets out of bounds.
A nightmare play turned into a good play from them, because once he started running backwards, but he was able to quickly turn up the field and get out of bounds.
A little fake.
Yeah, so you can take, I want to say, 2 shots to the end zone before you need to bring your kicker out. But it has to be outside the numbers. You catch it, you got to dive out of bounds.
So we'll see how they decide to orchestrate this. Lewis, number 12, there in motion. Now, throwing, that was, contested there, intended for Keel, and I'm kind of like you, that was going to be more towards the left hash mark there, so not towards the sidelines. They would have had to use a lot of time at that juncture.
Yeah, you don't have time now to do those like middle passes. It has to be to the out of bounds.
Bland throwing again in the middle of the field. That is complete. Goodman there able to jump over a defender who fell. He gets the first. And the clock is running. Snaps it. 19 seconds.
All right, so 19 seconds. You don't have to bring your kicker out if you want to. You can take a shot to the end zone. Just got to be smart.
I think we're seeing an empty set here. Now we got one man in the backfield with Blanton. We panned out there. We'll see what they do here. Like you said, they want to look for the sidelines for sure. No, they go to the middle of the field. That's probably not the worst thing that would have happened there. Back to the drawing board on 3rd and 10. So, yeah, you're right. At least one more shot here that you can take before you bring your field goal team out.
You have to take the shot down the field. Anything underneath that, you might not have time to, especially if it's not a first down, because you can't spike it on 4th down.
The trips to the right of Trellis Blanton. 17 seconds left in this second. Pressure coming around the edge. He throws. It's complete to Goodman.
Oh, that pass was so good. Cameron's mic got cut off, because you know what? That's one of the best odds that you can get for a touchdown right there. Like, unbelievable. The route, what a way to make adjustment. The ball was thrown to the inside. You saw the defensive back trying to make a play to the outside. What a way to be calm, cool, and collected on that catch.
so much excitement that I did blow my mic out for just a minute. What a great play by Goodman there. And Bradshaw's extra point is good. And we are all tied up with just a couple ticks left on the clock there. But yeah, Anthony, that was such a clutch play. I mean, that is something that, you see the greats of this league able to do.
Look, Cam, I felt your energy when you did that. I knew your mic was going to cut out. It was just, that was something like you had one play left and you need to take a shot in the end zone, and that's what you did. And what a way to go into the half, potentially tied up.
You could have, scripted it more beautifully, honestly. I mean, that was just a well-orchestrated drive, and it kudos to you as well for really narrating and guiding all the viewers here through that. You did a fantastic job, and of course, we've seen the end result displayed there by Denver. 5 seconds left in regulation, all tied at 14. Do we expect them to just go back to the lockers?
You know, pad your stats a little bit. You might want to throw it down the middle, just as long as it's not picked and returned back for a touchdown.
Yeah. Patak will throw. That's bobbled and bounced around, so we'll get one more play this half.
And the thing is, on that touchdown here, like, it was the defensive back was playing the out route while they threw it more of an inside. It was just a great play call.
Yeah, it really was indeed. And we've seen a handful of great plays in this football game up to this point. Final play of the half. Patak throwing. Tipped. Incomplete. And we will go back to the locker rooms, all tied up at 14. This game has had just a little bit of everything. So don't touch that dial. You're going to want to see how this one turns out. 14-all, Chicago and Denver in this divisional matchup between 4 and 2 teams. We welcome you into the SFL halftime report. Cameron Duty here with Anthony Ellison. And Anthony, give me your analysis and what you may like to see be adjusted in the next 2 quarters.
These two teams have came out and they had a great defensive performance. They had pressure in the first quarter with 5 sacks to combine there. So that's what we want to see. You want to see more pressure. Denver took the load off of blitzing, and Chicago has had the opening in the passing game. You want to put some more pressure on Chicago in that offensive line. For Denver, I want you to keep on running the football. You have a 2-headed monster that can control the second half. It can control the clock, and you can set up passes like we saw at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, and we'll take a look at all of those suggestions there, Anthony, and see if they are able to put them to use. We welcome you back inside Richard L. Snowden Stadium for the start of this third quarter. Folks, it's no surprise the Virtual Football Network is live again. We ask you to please support our hardworking crew by smashing that like button, subscribing, and commenting on this video. It really helps the channel out, so turn notifications on so you'll never miss a live stream, highlight, or a podcast. And we thank you for your support of the Virtual Football League and the Simulation Football League. We start this third quarter here. Cameron Duty with Anthony Ellison, Rochelle Colston, and Corey Minner on the stats this evening, and Cameron Irvine at SFL HQ. Now, Chicago with the football to start this second half. What a spin move by Paulie Truth, able to turn upfield. We talked earlier about the situational awareness, and we see it right there again, knowing just really where he needed to get to the sticks to get the first, and he gets it with this spin move right here.
And also, where is the soft spot in the zone? I love that they did a drag route, so that linebacker went with the drag, and then the little button hook was open right in the middle in that soft spot in the zone.
So Chicago here wanting to respond to that Denver touchdown late at the end of the second quarter. They get it to Stewart, who gets a couple. And they'll go back to the huddle after a gain of 3.
You know, just keeping honest, but we all know what Chicago likes to do. They like to air it out. I just want to see for Denver that defensive line that we saw in the first quarter. I want to see more of that.
Now look at this. Oh, one-on-one coverage there. I thought that Fullerton was going to be able to bring that one in. And quickly, folks, while we have a moment, we're going to take you to a SFL game break with Cameron Irvine. Cameron, good evening.
Good evening, Cam, and we've got a good one in Washington as well. Minnesota, a Central Division rival of Chicago and Denver, just took the lead on Washington 13-7, 7 minutes to go in the fourth. A tight one in Olympia. Back to you.
Just all around great block of football indeed. And look at that. I mean, my goodness, just trying to get back in from the break here. You see Caleb Giffus somehow able to reel this one in. I'm glad we'll get a replay here. Look at the throw by Patak.
That's just a effortless throw on the run, and you delivered a dot right when we came back, like you said. Wow, that's a good throw. That's crazy.
I think we've seen some fantastic catches in this game on both sides of the football, and it's not over yet. Pauly Truth, and you see him towering there over the two defenders who was in the area. He made that look super easy for the first down.
Back-to-back big plays here. Pocket very clean. Once again, it's one of those, like, you know, the linebacker had to pick between the two routes. You have a in route and a seam. They just picked the wrong play. I love that they're pairing two receivers. They're bunching them together, and they're making the linebacker choose which one to defend.
It's been their success this entire evening up to this point. You see the total yards there on the left side of the screen, very even as that pass is incomplete. I believe we do have a flag on the play. So they get face mask on number 23. That is Stephen Goodman. That'll be an automatic first down here for Chicago.
And so far, this drive is going exactly the way Chicago wants coming out of the half right here. Just moving the football effortlessly, two big passing plays, and they're looking to punch us in.
Patak throwing, lets it go. He had a man in the area, just a little too low for Pauly Truth. Incomplete. Now, I mentioned the total yards there. You see on the left side of your screen, the upper left corner. Look how even this game has truly been, not just on the scoreboard, but in the stats as well.
Yeah, these are two even teams, obviously showed by the record here, but they play very similar to each other.
Keep an eye on Truth as he goes in motion. Four receivers now lined up to the left of Ty Patak. Snaps the football, throws that direction. It's a touchdown, and it's Pauly Truth who reels it in.
Oh, I love the play design there.
Yeah.
So you send Truth over in motion, you have a quad stack, and what you're doing is you're trying to get misdirections, and that's exactly what you did. You had somebody doing a drag, a post, and an out in a corner, and they just didn't have enough defense on that side for Detroit to defend that. What a way to set that up to get you a touchdown. Love the route combination.
As do I. That was the Pauly Truth series, honestly. That drive, you know, all Pauly all the time. The extra point by Ronald Suey is good, and now Chicago squeaks back out front. But now this game is so far from over, folks. 21-14, the score. With a couple minutes off the clock here in this third quarter. This one will be returned. And it's Kill who brings this one out. Takes a shot at the 29-yard line, and that is where Denver will set up.
So, Denver, this is your time to respond. You have responded so far in this game. You know, we need to see a healthy dose of the run because you want to control the clock. You're second in the league in time possession. You have good running backs here. You don't need to panic.
For the first series of the second half, Trellis Blanton under center, trips to the left. They give it to O'Shaughnessy, trying to get through, trying to thread the needle there, and just not able to do so. A good tackle by Havo Ramsey.
Yeah, and that was the linebacker there stuffing that left side. Well, no, actually the defensive end, Jab McPherson, number 54, making sure that that play didn't go anywhere.
Controlerless Bland coming into this third quarter, he's 16 of 20 for 162 yards, and he may have another touchdown here. Look at Logan Keel sprinting down the sidelines. No, they're going to bring him down. That really looked like it was a little bit too high. Keel had to climb the ladder for it, but man, did he do a fantastic job.
So looking at the replay, I thought that number 25 for Chicago was trying to do a one-handed interception. It looks like he was trying to knock it down, but what great body position by the receiver to catch it and bring it down and then run. That's a big play.
A great play indeed. Now, Blanton throwing with the pressure behind him, able to get rid of it, and able to find a couple of positive yards there by Dylan Lewis before he is tackled in the open field by Alex Bond.
Great open field tackle on that play right there, diving play.
3-yard gain, taking it 7, screen pass to O'Shaughnessy. And that's somewhere that we have seen O'Shaughnessy be able to flourish a lot in these previous games, but not tonight. They have really been able to keep him at bay, whether it be on the ground or through the air.
Yeah, and that was a great game plan, knowing that Bailey has over 110 carries coming into the game.
But Trellis Bland delivers a dime in stride to Jay Viper, and it's going to be first and goal for the home team.
And I like how they're making adjustments. So, the running game is getting stuff on this drive. So, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to do a nice little go route in the seam on your slot receiver, and it's catching the defense on guard. Good job catching it, knowing that you're about to take a hit, and making sure you don't fumble the football. Great play.
And right, though, they kind of drew a little bit of attention there to O'Shaughnessy. Maybe had him thinking run again. They get him with the pass, just getting that guy involved. You see the difference in the plays thereafter and how they respect the throw. Now, to O'Shaughnessy, cutting right, walking into the end zone for 6. It's a touchdown for Bailey O as they're 1 point away from tying it up.
Hey, you can do everything you can to stop the run, right? You can do everything in your power. They're not going to give up on the running play. There, you just follow right behind R.E. Mills that deliver such a beautiful block on the outside, and Bailey just walks in for a touchdown.
You're literally reading my mind there. R.E. Mills, we're going to give him a call for a great block that really set that whole thing up as Bradshaw on to attempt the extra point, and it is good, and we're once again all tied up at 21. Just a 6-play drive, and they were able to go the length of the field.
Yeah, this is a boxing match. This is back and forth. They're responding to each other here. So now it's going to be Chicago's time. What can you do to keep the momentum going? You got another score here?
It almost feels as if it could be one of those games, if it keeps trending in the way that it is, where the person or the team, I should say, with the last possession could go down and win in a walk-off fashion. I don't know that for sure, but it certainly has that feeling, doesn't it?
You definitely want to keep an eye on this game because this is going to go down to the wire.
Now Patak throwing over the middle to Pauly Truth, able to escape a tackle. He gets 7 on a first down. A quick programming note here. Oh, go ahead, Anthony. Go right ahead.
No, I'm just saying the offensive line for Chicago is picking up these stunts for defense from Denver really well.
Yeah, indeed. We'll get to that programming note in just a moment when we get a breather here. 7-yard gain on first down. As we see Truth again in motion. All eyes on 85 for sure. He's had a heck of a game up to this point. Now, quarterback keeper by Patak. He does enough, just what he can, to get the 1st and 10. And that's a good play there. Good heads up.
Yeah. Recognizing that the play broke down, needed to get to the first down marker. You would like to see him slide, but nonetheless, another first down.
Halfway through this third quarter of play, trips to the left side now for type attack. Pressure is picked up, allowing more time to throw. We had a man down there. I think that again was Caleb Giffus, but great coverage by the Night Wings by that one.
Yeah, and both of these defenses are playing what they need to do defense, meaning like if they're gonna like give up yardage, they're gonna make a play here and there to like calm everything down. That's what we're seeing.
Pump fake, Patak somehow able to spin out of the pressure, and he gets just enough for the first down. Just able to stick that football past the pylon there. Take a look at this here. As you can see, he's on the run.
That's the awareness. Look at the spin move in the pocket. You don't see that often. That's like danger zone. But then brace the pocket for another first down, second first down in this drive for him.
Hugo Reynoso was after him. Interception, throwing into double coverage and going the other way. It's showtime. Jimmy Hatsis. It's Pauly Truth who's able to drag him down, but not before a huge play, a crucial mistake by Chicago.
Yeah, and Denver was lurking. They wanted this. They had a few that they could have intercepted like last and then the first half. And Hatsis right there, just reading the play the whole entire time, ran the route for the receiver, and that's a big interception for Denver. Now you have the ball, and you can run, and you can chew some clock.
And for the first time in this ball game, we are looking at, the opportunity here for a turnover to really truly make an impact there on the point situation. That last one that we seen early in this football game, I think it was negated there. There were no points off turnover, if I'm not mistaken. But now, on this side of the field, that Showtime was able to bring it to, well, right here, they're already in field goal range.
Yeah, so you don't have to do anything crazy. I'll just keep handing the football off.
And that they'll do. Bailey O'Shaughnessy, watch him just lower that shoulder. And he gets so tough to bring down, they have to literally kind of toss him down, and in doing so, he picks up the first.
Yeah, and this is now how your conditioning is. They're going to run the football. So, Chicago, are you going to set some pressure? How are you going to counteract this heavy running game that we're going to see now for Denver?
Mosley just runs it right up the middle with a big head of steam, and he gets 3 as the minutes are winding down here in this third quarter.
Yeah, and they 3 straight running plays here. And I won't be surprised if they sneak in maybe a pass on this next play or 2.
That's been kind of the theme here. A couple run, and then they go for the pass. Now Mosley with the screen is able to reach out and bring it in, but they weren't fooling anybody. Really and truly, they haven't been able to fool anybody this entire evening on those screens as Bamsler gets the open field tackle.
So 3rd and 8 here. You're in field goal range. You don't need to force it on the pass, but you would love a first down.
Yeah, Denver quickly back to the line here. The throw, they've got what they wanted, and what they wanted is number 17, Michael Goodman, with another touchdown on the evening. One-on-one coverage on the outside, and they just let him have a chance at it.
You got the exact coverage that you're looking for. One-on-one with your dynamic receiver on the outside, and you just beat the defensive back. All those receivers just beat them on just a simple go route. Good job keeping your feet in bounds. You score points off of turnovers, and that's exactly what Denver did.
Got to be able to capitalize in those moments that your defense is able to give you. Denver does just that as the extra point is good by Bradshaw. And now Denver goes back out in front. And as I was mentioning that programming note for the SFLM, Tuesdays and Thursdays, the SFLM is on the Virtual Football Network. Season 11 is underway and resumes Tuesday, September the 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern with the Birmingham Hellhounds and the New York Gargoyles. Thursday, September the 25th, it's the Philadelphia Cougars hosting San Jose plus Anchorage at San Diego. So see the SFL Stars of tomorrow right here on the Virtual Football Network. Like I say, Anthony, my goodness, all the football that we have on this channel, it's fantastic. I mean, you don't have to go a day without football if you choose to not.
And like, there's something for everyone, and that's what's great about it.
Pass the Polytruth, just a little short there and incomplete. But yeah, back to your point, like you said, there's something for everyone. Let's highlight Michael Goodman for just a minute here, okay? Him and Mike Kleinecht as well, good examples of players who came up through the ranks of the SFL, and now you see what they're doing here in the pros. Patak throwing to Fullerton. And that was just a pretty pass, able to deliver that one, on a dime right there over the shoulder of Fullerton. And he gets the first down. Glad we get to see this one again.
Yeah, and they're going to keep throwing the football. They're going to be still in it because they have a very prolific passing game. So they're always going to be in it.
Well, we've seen 8 rushing yards, I think, up to this point for Chicago. So, yeah, that tells you. They love to gun it out. Patak throwing complete to Truth. Makes a man miss. Another man miss. He stays on his feet. Gets rolled over. And you're right about that, Anthony. You talked about just how prolific the passing game is. And yeah, you're going to have an interception every now and then. But, like we seen earlier. But look at Patak coming back strong here.
Yeah, and, your receivers are running up the field instead of going out of bounds and making the good throws. They're always going to be in the game. I just don't want Denver to start gambling for turnovers. Just play it safe.
Yeah. Attack under center, pressure coming. It was right in his face, and he's able to, again, thread that needle. He gets it to Caleb Giffus. A small window there, a tight window, but he's able to fit it in.
Yeah, just right behind that linebacker there. What a tight throw. But that's just the confidence that you have in your receivers. You can make that one.
Honestly, that linebacker had to feel that whizzing by his ear. I mean, it was that close. No margin for error, indeed. Ready for Fullerton. In motion. That's Patak with a good pocket throws towards the end zone. Looking for Fullerton. And it's incomplete. And for the second time today, let's go back to SFL HQ with Cameron Irvine and a game break.
It's a wrap. Watch this, Cam. 16 seconds to go. Washington down 6. Second and goal on the 1. Tommy Utah to Johan Sutherland. Touchdown. Washington beats Minnesota 14-13. Back to you.
Thank you, Cameron. What a game. And folks, if you were watching that game, we welcome you in here as Ty Patak taking a shot. As we are just about finished with this third quarter, we've got a 3rd and 6 situation here. Chicago coming back here down by 7. It's been one of those games back and forth. Chicago takes the snap. Patak throws the Polytruth. Was he able to get the first? Yes, they're going to say forward progress does get the first.
Looks like the 4th completion in a row, just finding a rhythm. It's spreading the football out to so many different receivers. This is just a offense that knows they're clicking on every cylinder right now.
Patak throwing it. It's an interception. The second straight for Ty Patak. And this time is Parker Thomas who gets in on the turnover party. Man, that's demoralizing. That has to hurt.
It really is. And what a way to pass the buck off to the next receiver and then switch back over and had eyes on the quarterback and just interception. And that's tough right there because they want to throw the football and you're going to throw interceptions from time to time, but you just don't want to do it at a timely manner like this.
For Parker Thomas, that is the 38th interception of his career. And it come at a very most important time. I mean, like you see Chicago there, just mere yards from getting to the end zone and again tying this one up, but the defense holds and makes a stop. Folks, if you have your 4s, put them up in the chat. We've got one more quarter to play. Denver leads Chicago by 7. You're watching the SFL on the Virtual Football Network. Camera duty here with Anthony Ellison, Rochelle Colston, and Corey Minner in the stats truck tonight. And Cameron Irvine back at SFL HQ. Split backs for Trellis Blanton and this Denver team. And for the first time tonight, they really have the opportunity to, if they can play their cards just right, extend this lead out to a 2-score lead. They got a long way to go. They start with Mills, who gets the carry and gets a couple.
3rd and 3 here. You want to try to get the ball back as quickly as you can. Chicago, you know they want to run the football. They're going to run it right at you.
They bring the pressure. It's hit. It's a fumble. And going the other way for the touchdown. Chicago's number 37, Melodious Manning.
So if you ran the football, probably that wouldn't happen. They sent the pressure, and whew, that quarterback got blasted there. Now they're going to challenge it and see.
Oh, yeah. Looking to see if the arm moved forward. And that's big Peter Merck there, 6'4", 265, the rookie who come in and unguarded, might we add, and just laid a shot on Bland. You'll see it here.
Yeah, so let's see. Ooh.
That's close.
You got to have undisputed evidence to change that. I think that's a fumble.
The play does stand. Denver is charged the timeout.
I mean, you had to call that?
You did.
Woo! What a turn of the event. What a game-changing play to keep yourself in there.
We literally had just made a comment that if they play their cards right, they could extend this lead to maybe potentially 2 scores. And in the end, it's that Chicago defense that comes up. We've seen them send all-out blitzes. They've lived by that, and they've died by it at times tonight. But this time it pays off big, and the defense gets points. All tied up at 28.
Like we said in the beginning of the 3rd quarter, you might want to just sit back and enjoy this, because this is going to be back and forth.
Yeah, this has been a thing of beauty so far. Now we'll see what Denver can do here on the return. A good hit of steam and a fumble. And I believe it is Chicago who come up with it. And look who it is. What a play. Number 27, Tony Beckham, bending it like Beckham, if you will, to get that fumble recovery. Who coughed that up? Well, we see who coughed it up, but who was that assisted? That was Ricky Robinson.
Just punching the ball loose, and wow, I
can't fathom this.
To be up by 7 and having momentum, to now potentially being down off of back-to-back fumbles.
And now Patek, he takes a hit by Hugo Reynosa, taking a little bit of frustration out, no doubt, because I'm like you. If we feel this way, the chat feels this way. You see, what is happening. We see that in the chat. It's hard to process what we've seen in the last 30 to 45 seconds.
Yeah, so if you put your head down or check your phone, and then you look back up and you see 2 fumbles, yeah, you're confused just like we are.
DJ Kilgannon says, Cam, I want my air guitar strings. Buddy, they're in the middle. Interception!
All right.
Oh, my goodness. And
all right.
Tank Bennett.
So we want to play defense now, huh? So this is what everybody want to do. They want to show up. We want to knock the ball loose. We want to get sacks. We just saw 4 plays, Cameron. And let me tell you the 4 results. A fumble, touchdown, fumble, sack, interception. Yeah, you don't see that often. You really don't.
If you had it on your bingo card tonight, folks, go buy yourself a lottery ticket. But I don't think anybody. That is almost unheard of in this game. And so, Denver gets the football back. Let's just breathe for a moment before this snap. Blanton throwing quickly over the middle. A nice safe play. I think that's a wise choice as he finds Logan Kill underneath in the middle of the field.
I don't even think chat has time to write in there what's going on, because what you just saw was a crazy, 30 seconds maybe?
Yeah.
And what a way to Denver to settle down. Just a nice little pass over the middle. But I'm going to say it again. You might want to run the football because,
the
quarterback got blasted.
Hashtag listen to Anthony here. We could probably get that trending on social media tonight. Bridge City Birds said they're too sick to go out and buy a lottery ticket. I understand. Whoa, look at this. A little bit of a helicopter tackles there. And Mike Kleineg's able to hang on to that one after he takes a midair shot for the first down.
Ooh, that's, you know you're going to take a hit, and you did. And you kept the football right there. You didn't fumble it, because if y'all did, this whole chat, this whole game would have went crazy.
And, honestly, I think that was important, not to overstate it, but somebody needed some stability here. And that was, a good play to kind of secure that good ball control. Bland throwing one-on-one. Michael Goodman, he's still on his feet. He's to the 10. One man to beat. He's still fighting down to the 5. Hello, Michael Goodman. What a game you're having today.
I'm going to say this again. This is going to go down to the wire. You beat the man coverage. Safety got there late in time, and you big play. These 3 straight passing plays for Denver, when I think they're going to run the football, and it just caught Chicago off guard.
Now split backs. Everybody just take a minute and check your heart rate and your blood pressure here. This one's only going to get more tense as we go down to the end of it. That's R.E. Mills with the carry, fighting his way through and worming and squirming his way for a couple as it's 2nd and goal, 7-10 and counting in regulation. And
2nd down here, I even say keep it on the ground. Be safe.
Okay, you got O'Shaughnessy and Mosley, and that's what they do. They give it to Bailey O, and Bailey gets so close to the touchdown. Going to mark Bailey just short of it. A couple inches, I would almost say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I wouldn't change a lick. I am running the ball between my offensive guard and my center.
High formation, 3rd and goal for the lead in this one. It's Bailey into the end zone, untouched for the touchdown, and Denver goes back out front.
So Denver has potentially 14 points off of turnovers. When we look at the game at the end, we're going to see the difference is going to be points off of turnovers. Chicago did not convert on their turnover, but Denver has with 2 touchdowns.
Right. Yeah, some great insight there, Anthony, indeed. As Jordan Bradshaw on to attempt the extra point, the snap, the hold, it's all good. 428 total yards to this point by Denver, and it's not over yet as they jump back out front. And we'll see what Chicago can respond with here, Anthony.
It's not over yet, because Chicago can score in 1 throw.
Yeah, when you're looking at, the game schedule, it's released and there's a fumble. Holy cow, Garner able to jump back on that one. That could have been disastrous.
I guess everybody wanted to fumble. That's fine. That's A-okay. That was just you didn't even cover the football. You just ran the straight line, and that helmet went to the football there. That would have been disastrous for Chicago. But
everybody, wow.
They got the ball. 6 minutes left. Let's see if you can tie the game up.
I think everybody has had their hands in the popcorn bucket or something. There's Butterfingers all over the place out here as Fullerton climbs the ladder to get the first. Now, like I was saying, when the schedule come out earlier in the week and we had a chance to see where we were assigned and what games we were going to get a chance to venture out here and call, we knew that this had a great potential on paper to be a heck of a game. I don't think any of us expected this. It's been amazing.
And this is just the start of the week. We got games Saturday and Monday, and this is a good way to end the Friday night.
Absolutely. Patak now throwing for truth. Yeah, and he takes a shot. You don't see him drop too many of them. But, when you have somebody coming like Ted Haynes there, like a heat-seeking missile, it's going to happen every now and then.
Yeah, there's been some big hits on both sides. And, for the majority of it, they're holding on to the ball. But this is hard-hitting action. This is something we love to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do.
Oh, me too. Commander Crunch says, can't blame him. It's a good snack, referring to the popcorn there. Yeah, I got to give you that. It is. Patak throwing to the middle of the field. Tipped, batted, and intercepted. Another turnover for guess who? Parker Thomas. Anthony.
Second, if I'm not mistaken, second interception for Thomas.
Yeah.
The 5th interception.
Oh, he swatted it. He batted it and then caught it.
They have just been all over Patak right there. If it's not getting the sacks, it's getting the turnover. 5 interception game. You hate to see it. And now Denver is in the driving seat. Now, Cameron, let me just say it. The last time they were up by 7 with possession like this, they got sacked and fumbled, and they returned it for a touchdown. So anything can still happen.
They were throwing the football. They're on the ground here. O'Shaughnessy. Yeah, I mean, one of the most secured, halfbacks there. I mean, just the way he protects the football. You don't want to go away from it now because, time is of the essence here for Chicago. You could really do a hurting on them right here if you wanted to.
You don't need to pass the ball at all. You just run it, kill the clock, make them use timeouts.
Mosley with the carry, still on his feet. He gets close to the first.
Yeah, they keep their feet going there. It can be a no-yard game turned into something because they just keep on moving their legs. They don't skip leg day in the gym. I'm telling you, don't.
5 consecutive turnovers for Chicago. Could be the thing that decides the fate of this game. It's a 3rd and 1 situation. Split backs. You got some good ones behind you there. You got a man in motion in Mike Kleineck. And they give it to Bailey. They let him push the pile. And they're going to say short. I'm surprised.
Yeah, go ahead
there
and
we
challenge
go.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wondered. I mean, they had to.
Where is that football when it crosses the plane? I think that the whole football was over the plane.
I felt like that one was pretty clear. We'll get a chance to see here in the replay, folks, as they go under the hood. I mean, at this point right here, that's a first.
His whole body.
His whole body.
Yeah. That's a first down.
I mean, there was a lot of defenders around the area. Maybe that was the challenge there visually for the spot. But the really thing on it is overturned. Denver is not charged a timeout. That's a good thing. They did lose a timeout earlier on a challenge. So, worst comes to worst, they still have 2 in their back pocket. But right now, with the way things are going, they're wanting to put an end to this game on this drive.
Yeah, this is a game-changing drive. Even if you pick a field goal, you'll be up 2 possessions.
First and 10, they give it back to Bailey, hurdling over defenders for a gain of 2. And then like you said, right here, the clock continuing to run, their main priority at this point in this game.
Yeah, and keeping the ball in the infield, don't want to stop the clock. Just chew the clock and just make the defensive line get tired out.
Well, the late handoff to Bailey, but he's got room to run and ahead of Steen. And right now at this point, every yard that Bailey picks up is a yard that makes it that much more easier for their kicker, Jordan Bradshaw, if he is called here to add 3 to their lead.
Yeah, and after this, if they pick up this first down, now you're Chicago, you got thinking about your timeout situations and how to stop them.
The way to start right here is to get a stop on 3rd and 3. Extra man up here on the line to try to block and pave the way. They give it to Mosley, who is just stuffed at the line of scrimmage. So, yeah, a good job right there of J.J. Bailey making the tackle. And now they'll call Jordan Bradshaw onto the field to attempt this field goal.
It's a big kick here because you want to go up 2 possessions.
45 yards. This is not, this isn't easy by any stretch of the imagination. Lined up on the right hash mark. The kick, though, it's got the distance, it's got the angle, and it is good. And for the first time today, it is a 2-score lead, and it benefits the Denver Nightwings, looking for their 5th win of the season.
Such a big kick right there. What a way to draw the football back towards the middle. And now you're talking about a 10-point lead, and Chicago obviously going to pass the football, but with 5 turnovers, you got to think, what's the mindset for type attack?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like you said, the 5 consecutive turnovers that has plagued this team up to this point. But we know if they can get on a roll, 2:53 to go, it's not hard at times for them to move down the field in 1 or 2 or 3 plays. So plenty of time left if they can play their cards right. Attack, throwing to Pauly Truth. He takes a shot at the end of that when they weren't even going to give him a chance to stand up and make a second attempt at it, courtesy of Luis Quintana.
And they've just been all over those passes and jumping the routes right there. It's just been a tough time for attack. You see those 5 interceptions.
Empty backfield. That's Patak. Will throw. Moves just a little bit, and he's able to squeeze that one in. John Fullerton. And now you see the no huddle. Out towards midfield. Patak throwing quickly. Tip ball intercepted. Oh, a nightmare situation. Goes from bad to worse. Blake Prine, have yourself an interception, young man. A second.
Oh, wow, tip drill right there, and you just hate to see that for Tack right there. 6 interceptions in a game is really hard to do. And Denver Nightwings tipped their cap to them. They did it with playing just stout defense all night long.
It's almost the equivalent of the ship hitting the iceberg and then just sinking, instantaneously. I mean, because, Chicago was, just cruising, doing fine as Mosley now takes the carry. But, in the end, and, a couple of those, you really got to say, not all of them on the quarterback there, but as an offensive unit, 6 turnovers, whether it be just thrown to the wrong spot or tipped contested footballs, that's a tough pill to swallow, especially when you were playing so well.
Yeah, but throwing the football really well. You got, he was coming in today with first in touchdowns with 12 and had a 3rd in QBR rating, and now it's going to plummet just by a tough game.
Tough game indeed. I tell you what, this one, though, has had everything you could have wanted and more. 2-minute warning here. You're watching the SFL on the VFN. Back to your point, Anthony, that they live and die by the passing game as they do. They will be turnovers, but it's an insane amount as Mills gets the first, and that's going to make this easier here indeed for Denver. But, back to the point, it is unreal to see those stats and see that many turnovers win this game. 5 minutes ago? We said it's going to come down to the last team that has the football, perhaps.
Yeah, Denver trying to make sure of that.
O'Shaughnessy to the 20. Are they going to catch him? They drag him down at the 10.
And that's wearing out the defense when you run the football effectively. And right now, that's O'Shaughnessy with over 100 yards rushing for the day, and you're just tiring out the defensive line. That's what Denver did.
And honestly, at the end of this game, I don't think the score is going to be very reflective of the type of football game that we had here, as Mills runs it up the middle, and that'll be the final timeout called for by Chicago.
No, it's not going to reflect that. This game was close all the way up to the 4th quarter here, and then we saw the crazy 5 turnover switch, and then Chicago couldn't keep up with Denver.
Yeah, after they jumped out front that final time, as O'Shaughnessy gets close. It's close to the end zone. It's a 3rd and goal situation.
Now we're looking like Denver coming out 5-2. Chicago needs to bounce back 4-3. Denver going into a bye week, so this is a great way to go into a bye week with a really astonishing win.
And then coming out of the bye, they've got a very tough contest with Houston Headhunters that awaits them on October the 4th. And for Denver, you're right. You got to be feeling so good right here, about moving to 5-2. They've really slayed some giants the last couple of weeks as Mosley not able to get in the end zone. Bring up 4th and goal, and I'm sure we'll see a field goal attempt here. And for Chicago, on the flip side of things, they go to Charleston to play the Predators, and then it's 2 straight home games after that with Sin City and Fort Worth. So, Chicago going to be dejected, sure, but they have, a good opportunity down the stretch here to pick up some victories before they head into their bye in Week 14. Bradshaw now play clock down to 5, 4, 3, the snap, the hold, and he's able to pad that lead. The kick is good. With just a few seconds remaining, Chicago will get it back, but that will ice this football game.
So this is going to be a type of game that Chicago needs to look at it. And they're a passing team, right? And they just had some troubles there, but the offensive line didn't do a bad job protecting the quarterback. It's just about making sure you're doing the right reads and progression, and then you got to come back out next week and bounce back.
Flag on the play. They'll get a face mask on Denver. Incidental face mask, so they will, of course, accept it. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, a learning point indeed. For Chicago, like you said, they got to go on the road to face a tough Charleston team. In this history of this matchup between the two teams, these two have only met twice. They split 1-1, 1 victory apiece. So Denver will get the lead in the matchup win/loss record. And I think they'll definitely see these guys again, no doubt. As Giffords catches that one. We'll see if they get one more snap off Patak. Goes over the 400-yard mark. And that will be the final play. Final score, Denver 41, Chicago 28, and a game that really you couldn't ask for much better. A divisional matchup that went down to the very, very end of this 4th quarter before they were able to stretch it out. Anthony, give me your final thoughts and game balls, my friend.
The game ball is going to go to the whole defense of the Denver Night Wings. We're getting 6 turnovers. It's really hard to do there. And what a way to keep pressure on Ty Patak. 6 interceptions, keeping them in a low quarterback rating. And on the offensive side, Bailey O'Shaughnessy running for 134 yards and keeping that defense for Chicago at bay. What a well-rounded game for the 5-2 Denver Night Wings.
Yeah, incredible. Folks, more action coming up this weekend. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned into the Virtual Football Network the entire weekend. Now, for Cameron Irvine, Rochelle Colston, Corey Minner, Anthony Ellison, my name is Cameron Duty. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time. You're watching the SFL on the Virtual Football Network. Good night.